we give money to CNN?
No.
Do we give money to Fox?
No.
Do we give money to Politico?
No.
Then why are we giving money to public broadcasting?
That's American news, but as we talked about before the show, this is something that's directly applicable to Canada. Senator John Kennedy, agree with him or not, like him or not, he made a very valid point in saying, why should we fund public broadcasting? And as a Canadian, this is fucking relevant.
Public broadcasting in America today is political as hell. We all know that. You don't have to be a senior Caltech to see it. Some folks like their politics, so they want to give them money. Some folks don't like their politics, and they don't want to take it away. But that's not the real principle, is it, Mr. Director?
No, sir.
The real principle is, do we give money to CNN?
No.
Do we give money to Fox?
No.
Do we give money to Politico?
No.
Then why are we giving money to public broadcasting? Why? We're $36 trillion in the hole.
It's hard to argue with.
I wish a senator would have the balls to say that in Canada, because we're doing it at the cost of at least $1.4 billion just to CBC. We give hundreds of millions of dollars to organizations like CTV News. Why is the government funding any type of news, of broadcasting? Why? Why?
Like most Canadians, I grew up with CBC and have somewhat of a nostalgia view of it. The original argument for why CBC was necessary was we need to be able to tell our own stories to ourselves. Okay, sure. Because the thinking was America is just such this giant cultural juggernaut that if we don't sort of carve out spaces just for Canadian culture, Canadian identity, it will cease to exist. Then they should have stuck to things like hockey, right? Hockey Night in Canada, TV shows that show life in Canada. Once they got into news, they basically signed their own death warrants, because once you get into news, you're going to get into politics. Once you get into politics, you're picking and choosing winners or losers. I mean, maybe there's a news outlet out there who can report on the news so perfectly neutrally that nobody knows what the bias is, but I haven't seen it. What they should have done is just said no to it. You don't need to get into news and politics, and because as Kennedy said there, people who who agree with your politics, yeah, they'll be happy with it. People who won't. They're not going to want to see their money go to support things they don't agree with. And the CBC will take things and speak of them as neutral, but they aren't actually. If they report on trans stuff or gender affirming care, so-called.
For the first time, Nova Scotia Health has a dedicated program for gender-affirming chest surgeries, commonly referred to as top surgery. The program began with the recruitment of one surgeon last year. Then Dr. Nadim Jukadar joined in September.
Yes.
The dictator of Ukraine.
They'll report as if it's like a normal thing, as if it's accepted consensus science, and there's everyone supports it, and that's just not factually true. Even by reporting on it neutrally, they're taking a side. You're so sort of naive politically that you're getting involved in politics, even though you think you're being neutral, but you're not. Yeah, you probably you probably have no one to blame but yourself if and when the axe comes down on the budget.
30, 40 years ago, I could argue that I would have supported funding the CBC because it was about stuff that Canadians agreed with, and it was not a political thing. But watch the last election when you have the hosts openly saying by mistake or on purpose that, we're just a few seats from a majority, talking about the Liberals.
What's this we stuff?
Tell me. Yeah, exactly. So no, I do not want any type of taxpayers' money to fund the propaganda arm of the Liberal Party. Plain and simple. No. If you cannot survive in today's world, if you need $1.4 billion to survive, which is about 75% of their budget, if you cannot survive by your own, bye-bye. I think, unfortunately, it is the 40-year-olds or the late 30s guys are like, oh, yeah, but yeah, I know. I grew up watching this shit. But if you remove that emotional attachment to what you think it was when you were a kid, it ain't what CBC is.
I don't even
anymore.
think it's that
So
anymore. I don't even like.
defund it.
I don't even think there are any really good CBC shows these days. I can't think of any.
Have a telethon to fund public
Yeah.
access and broadcasting. I threw it a few dollars behind it. You know what? They can start a OnlyFans if that helps them get money. I don't care. It's just it should not be public or taxpayers' money. That's all I'm saying. You're gonna talk politics. You're gonna push an agenda that not every Canadian agrees with. Fucking stop using taxpayers' money.
Yep.
Start a GoFundMe. Start a telethon or start an OnlyFans. No problem.